Hello, bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. Boy, it's really I get a lot of people asking about or telling me that they love scale patterns, one octave scale patterns, and they get real comfortable. They're doing a lot with them, but they're nervous to step out of that one octave box, and that's why I named this video what I did, because to just get out of that one box, you can take one step, and that's adding one really easy to use interval that immediately expands your bass line into some new depths and makes it sound better, and that's the ninth. Now you might be like, whoa, what's a ninth? Yeah. Ninth is really the second interval of whatever scale you're using. It's the second step of the scale up an octave. And we call it a ninth. I know people sometimes say, why don't you just call it a two? Well, it's commonly called a ninth for like chord players, piano players, guitar players. It tells when you see the 9 in the chord, it's saying don't play it as a 2, put it up an octave, separate it from the tonic. But it's also a great way for me to tell you where I want you to start adding that note in. So let's take a look at a common scale. Well, you know what? Our friend, the C major scale. So we play in the C major scale, and if we were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the ninth would be the 2, which is the D, up here. Now I'll tell you right away, in most scales and for most chords, the 9 is going to be a major 9, which is it's going to be 2 frets away from the octave. There are flat 9s out there, Locrian, Phrygian, there's some great chords. Dominant 7 flat 9 is a great chord. If you come across that, then realize you're just a half step. Here's the octave, you're just playing up 1 fret, and that's a flat 9. So when we're playing bass lines in an octave here, sometimes it is nerve-wracking, and especially when you're new to kind of improvising using scales, it's nerve-wracking to step out of that one octave box, so to go any higher. So be confident and take one slide, just slide or play up to the D in this case and come back to the octave. Just make that an exercise. Getting used to just going up there and seeing what it does. It really, that simple little step of adding the ninth just adds so much expansion to that one octave box. And hopefully, I'm hoping it's a gateway to getting you more comfortable. Then maybe you add the third above, but I'm not going to get ahead. Let's just work on the ninths. So, of course, if you have a minor groove, A minor 7, the scale, I'm using Aeolian. You can just go up, grab the B, put it up an octave, that's the ninth. See how just adding that ninth in just expands it a little bit, adds one new little bit of flavor, and it sounds, because of its relationship to tonic, it does sound different than a 2. You know, if I was to play a bass line, that has a certain sound. Now, it's still a B to an A, but if I go, see how it sounds different? It creates a different tension. Sometimes you want to use the 2. Sometimes you want to use the 9. Now, a great exercise when I first started, way back when electricity was a new thing, because I'm old, is what I'm saying. I did just root 5 octaves and I added the 9 because I was paralyzed. Before I went to MI and got training, I was paralyzed with stepping outside of the 1 octave. I didn't really understand my fingerboard. I didn't really understand how the scale laid out over the neck. I wasn't to that point yet, but I knew I wanted to start getting there. So I would just make bass lines with the root, 5, octave, and a 9. And just for now, just stick with major 9s. And I would, come up with different grooves. Just using the root, 5, octave, and 9. And maybe that's a good place for you guys to start. Find different things. It's funny, at clinics and stuff, I'll be warming up, just talking to people in the audience, and it's crazy when I'll just do a bass line that has a 9 in it. People are like, ooh, that sounded cool. And that's what kind of made me think about doing this video, is because that reaction, the bass players be like, oh, that was a cool line. Or, when I'm playing in church and I decided to put a little passing phrase to get to the next chord, and I use the 9. How like one of the musicians will kind of nod at me like that was cool, and it's like, wow, it was just the 9. But see, there is a power of the 9. The 9 is cool. So so I'm hoping this will help you guys. Can you relate? Are you in that position where you starting to get comfortable with scales, but the idea of going beyond the octave is just crazy and you're just really stuck in that box? That's okay. So many of us, that's where we've been. So just take a chance. Just add the 9. Mess around with it. Now, if you get a little bit farther along and you want to try adding something with a flat 9, that's cool. If you have a chance to play along, like there's a lot of like ChordBot Lite, a lot of free apps or inexpensive apps where you can actually set up a chord progression that's auto-generated. Put in a dominant 7 flat 9, just a vamp where it's the same root over and over again, and try using that flat 9. Hear how that sounds, and then you'll get real comfortable and you'll want more, and that's where we can start doing full position studies where we go beyond the octave. Man, I'm excited about this, guys. I hope you are too. Hit me up with questions. Comment below freely and frequently. I love the comments. They really do help, especially in this time where we're all kind of isolated. It really does help to just know that bass players all over this world have questions, and it gives me a distraction to be able to answer them for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Do all those things. Consider becoming a Patreon supporter. There's a lot of additional materials. I don't believe I'll upload anything for this because I think I could cover it pretty well verbally, but if I'm wrong, if you guys want maybe some written examples, let me know. I'll put them on my Patreon, and you guys who are subscribers can download them. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you at the next video.